Demonstrate the correct process for making a patient visit. So now I'm going to pretend that a patient is calling in to show you what the process is. Okay, so ring, ring. Hi, thanks for calling the Healing Clinic. This is Feliza. How can I help you? Hi, Nancy. Sure. What is your qualifying condition? Okay. Epilepsy. And have you been to the physician in the past 12 months regarding your epilepsy? We ask this because we always want to make sure that patients have recent medical records. Any patient that we certify must have medical records from within the past 12 months that state the qualifying condition as an active problem or as a diagnosis under assessment. So you have been to the doctor in the past 12 months. The last time you were there was 2 months ago. That's great. Do you have those medical records on hand, or is that something we will be requesting for you? So, if a patient does have their medical records on hand, we instruct them to bring the medical records with them to their first visit. If they do not have the medical records, that's no problem. We can easily obtain the medical records that we need for them. We do that by having them fill out a medical record release form. That's part of our patient packet. So whenever we talk to a patient and make a new contact, we want to send them our patient packet, and we let them know that there is an authorization that they will need to sign in order for us to obtain those records. Hi ma'am, it's no problem that you don't have medical records on hand. We can easily request the records that we need in order to certify you. I'm going to send you our patient packet, and in our patient packet there's an authorization for release of health information. If you could just fill that out with your doctor's information and make sure to sign that page, we can go ahead and fax that release to your physician in order to get the medical records that we need. Okay? So let me get some information from you so that I can go ahead and put you on our contact list. What is your last name? Great. And this is where you're going to fill in the contact list and all of the fields that are required. So we try to make this as complete as possible. We start with their name. And your first name, please? Okay. And what is your date of birth? Okay. And who is your treating doctor? What doctor is treating you right now for your condition? It's very important that we collect this information because we do direct-to-physician marketing at the Healing Clinic. So we always want to find out what physician is actually treating them for their condition. That physician potentially is not willing to certify patients, so we'd like to reach out to them and let them know that we're here in order to fill that need. Okay, Dr. Jenkins. And what city is Dr. Jenkins in? Overland Park. Okay. And how did you hear about us? This goes in the referred by column. We always want to find out how a patient heard about the Healing Clinic. Okay, you heard about us online. Was that through a Google search? Great, thank you. And will you be applying with a caregiver? Every patient is allowed to apply with one caregiver. A caregiver is a person that's designated to shop on behalf of the patient. This is really great for patients with mobility issues or patients that can't travel, maybe after chemo or during certain weather conditions, maybe for patients that are unable to drive due to their condition. We always want to let patients know that it is an option to register to designate a caregiver, which would allow the person to go to the dispensary on their behalf, to purchase the medicine for the patient, and then to help the patient, to help actually administer the medicine to the patient. So, okay, you are not applying with a caregiver. Many times patients will ask if there are extra fees for a caregiver. The state does charge an extra $75 on the application fee, and that's for a 3-year card for the caregiver. The caregiver would also have to submit a background check. We do not charge any extra fees at the Healing Clinic for caregivers. Okay, and what is your best contact number? Great, and what is your zip code? Awesome, and what is your email? Okay, awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and email you that patient packet. Those are our intake forms, much like any forms that you would see when visiting a new doctor or clinic. And this is where we would actually copy the patient's email and paste it into a new message, and this is where we send them our patient packet, our intake forms. So we always subject title THC patient packet, and then we attach our patient packet, we attach file. Our patient packet can be found in the synced folder and it is called THC-patient-packet. Once that pops up in the sync folder, we just attach that to the email and send it to the patient. And once you send the patient packet, you can go ahead and actually book the appointment in the calendar. Okay, so would you like to go ahead and book your first visit now, Ms. Jenkins? Okay, great. So, would you like to come to our clinic in Chicago, Highland Park, or Flossmoor, which is most convenient for you? Okay. So this is when you would look at the calendar to find out when it is appropriate to book the patient. You find out which clinic is most convenient for them, and then we see that we have 3 separate calendars for each clinic on our main calendar. So if the patient prefers to come to Highland Park, we would just select Highland Park and deselect the other calendars to see what we have available in Highland Park. This patient wants to be booked in Highland Park, so I have that clinic selected. And if we look at our calendar days, the top of each day that will have a physician present will be listed at the top of the calendar. It will name which physician will be present at the clinic, and it will name the hours that they're available. So the best thing to do is to pull up the calendar that you're looking to fill, and you ask the patient which day is most convenient for them. If they're pretty open, then I would just suggest 1 or 2 days that you have coming up in the clinic that they would like to go to. So this patient would like to come to Highland Park. We look at the calendar, we see we have a physician in Highland Park today, Saturday, and Tuesday. So we would offer them one of those days. Hi, ma'am. So I have a physician in my Highland Park clinic. I have appointments available actually this afternoon if you're able to make it in. I also have appointments available this Saturday and then on Tuesday, so you can let me know what works for you. Tuesday I have appointments available. I have an 11 a.m. and I have a 12:20 p.m. So selecting an appropriate patient visit time is really important when booking visits at the Healing Clinic. We want to see what appointments are already booked for a physician, and we want to offer patients appointment slots that are close to what is already listed on the calendar. So for example, on Tuesday the 27th, we have an 11:30, 11:45, 12, 12:30, and 12:40. So ideally, we want to offer 2 appointment slots that are really close to whatever we already have there. So I offered the patient an 11 a.m. and a 12:20. So it doesn't really matter what time the physicians are available. What really matters is what we have available close to what is already there. If nothing is there, then you can of course go ahead and offer them any time during the time that the doctor is available to come in. I like to start earlier, as early as possible in the day. Okay, so you would like to come in for the 12:20 appointment on Tuesday the 27th. That's great. So at this point, you are going to book the patient. You click on the calendar around the time that they would like to come in, and then you select Edit Event. For the event title, it's always going to be the patient's name. Under Where, you're going to type in the Healing Clinic, and you'll see our clinic locations populate in Chicago and Highland Park. You would select the location on Skokie Valley Road for Highland Park. And then under the calendar, you want to make sure that the appointment's being booked on the correct calendar. So if it's not popping up there, if it's not populating, then you want to select the correct clinic location from that drop-down menu. So in this case, it's Highland Park. Under visit description, you're going to indicate whether it's the first visit, the second visit, or an annual visit for the patient. In this instance, it would be a first visit. So we would indicate that here under description. And underneath that, we're going to put the patient's phone number. That way it makes it really easy for our advocates to confirm visits at the appropriate time. So here, under my contact list, I got her number. I'm just going to copy the number here and paste it into the description. And then under Add Guests, we're going to add the patient email to invite them to their appointment. This also sends them automatic reminders about their appointment, which is really a good thing. So after we have all of this information filled in, so the patient's name, and we want to make sure that the appointment time is listed correctly as well. So I offered her at 12:20. We'll make sure that reflects that time. So 12:20, we go. We can remove the video call. We have the description here. We have the patient invited to the visit, the correct calendar. At this point, you would click Save, and then you would send invitations to guests. And that's it. That is how you book an appointment.